Okay, kids, a little work here on panopticonic game theory. I had fun over on Max Kaiser's channel, Gold versus Paper, when I did the general fictional instrumentation run, where you approach an opponent and you go, I already know you're foolish, because they do the standard ones. Only gold's money. Only gold's money. Gold and silver. Gold and silver. All right. And you throw out little factoids. Bing, 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 bing. Correct? And they automatically presume, with no knowledge of anything, that only their fictional position must be correct because they have invested that much faith in it. Not in reality. That gold has no value and paper has no fucking value. That has nothing to do with the real world. All right? It's in a fictional, man-made world that these things have anything to do with. But they're so heavily invested, their faith, in that. And I don't mean faith in a bad way. What I mean is a belief. They're so heavily invested in that, in abeyance of all other knowledge. It's interesting how they grab what they consider to be a fact when it's opinion only, and go all the way down with the Titanic. And anyway, I had fun over on Max Kaiser's channel. Finished that game cycle. It wasn't actually very long. The guy was, I don't even remember it now. I didn't do any screenshots because it doesn't matter. I did slight variations on it and everything. The one I wanted to talk about was on Stephen Moly-Hucks' channel. And his culty kooks, man, they are hard. They've got a hardcore deal. And since they're atheists mixed with, and by this I mean the corporate atheists, mixed with just general psychological kookery, right? Kookery. Not reality, just kookery. Okay, but anyway. The point being is, I waited until one of the dudes had launched onto a Christian, his salvo, and then I went in with the tree game theory. And the old boy actually flipped on his own position. I've only seen this once before. Flipped on his own position and said I was correct, but that my position proved his position. And it's beautiful. Fiction on fiction. And every time, or about every other comment, I would tell him the same thing. You're going to swear to me this, 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 and this. In fact, I did it at the very beginning of the game cycle. I told him, straight up, this is how it's going to go. And this is what you're going to do. All right. But I didn't tell him the end of the game. Sure as shit, like clockwork, he brought out each version of attempted voter traps, real basic ones, right? Real basic ones, in order to deny and dodge not making the tree. He finally gives up, says he can't make a tree, that he agreed with me and never said he couldn't make a tree. Well, he was saying evolution, 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 you understand? Okay, he was going around it and saying, well, I didn't say it. What I was doing was going around. Well, it's the same thing as not saying it. In short, you can't make a fucking tree. You're just bullshitting, and it's coming out of your mouth, and it's bullshit. You know, you're begging me to believe in your fiction and your horseshit. Why are you begging me to agree with your fucking argument that's fictional? I've already disproved that you know anything, and that you know nothing of everything, or everything of nothing. And since you cannot do, why would I ever listen to a man that can do nothing but talk a lot and never prove? And so it boils down to him consistently, over and over, asking me to speak to him. Because each comment is an offer. Please, I'm begging you, talk to me. Talk to me. And then about every 5 comments, boom. You're a stupid bastard. You're a shithead. You're at the blowout model. And then a reboot, except with him on the 3rd blowout model, he decided to declare a reboot. He just declared a reboot. Now, you must answer a question because I fucking said so. And it's like, wait a minute. We've already disproved that you know anything. And we've already disproved that a man that knows nothing and can do nothing is not a man that should be asking questions of anyone else. Now, since I've done my part, you continually beg me to let you attach to me. You continually beg me to game with you when we've already disproved all your positions. Your positions are completely fictional. And I told him, every time we do this, I tell you how it's going to go. The models that I ascertain that you're going to go right back into. And you consistently do it. And you just keep doing it. Even with me telling you you're going to fucking do it. That's just, to me, fascinating. I'm telling you you're doing this. And you're going to keep doing it. But what gets me is these people refuse to see the options. Right? He knows he's in a fictionality, a fantasy, in a dreamland with no position. None in the real world. I already proved that. Correct? Correct. So, with no position, what the fuck does he got except more talking? And I told him, you're just going to keep talking. You're just going to keep throwing, and I did this more than once, you're going to keep throwing fiction after presumption after fiction after presumption. Now, I did not detail that he was going to presume that I had a position. I didn't tell him that. I don't have a position. My position was simply that he had no position. It's the nullity game theory. He has no position, but he's intent on proving that he has a position. He's going to prove that I shit you not, he has no position other than fiction. Therefore, he's going to prove that he has a fictional position by disproving a fictional non-position. Anyway, it's proceeding apace, and he's very, and I've also attempted to match each comment in obscenities and vulgarities at each stage. So if he had a blowout model, I matched him with a blowout model. And if he was sarcastic, I matched him with a sarcasm. And it's quite fascinating because he'll reboot that cycle. And if you'll notice, the longer you go, the faster that cycle repeats. Specific models in that circle. A, you must. That's A, he begs you to fight with him. But, even though you've disproved everything, it's all fiction, all bullshit. So what he does is then goes directly into, I said so, that's why. Because I said so. Right? And that's him defending himself or defending his position. And then, boom, blowout model. And it gets faster and faster from where a blowout model was every 5 comments, a blowout model's every 2 comments or 3. And then each comment starts because he literally is in a racetrack of social cohesion and behavior modification to the point that he cannot go outside of that. There is no outside of that. His choice is to just walk away and not comment again. Yet he refuses to do so. And in fact, keeps begging me to talk to him. And I told him that. Why do you keep begging me to talk to you? You're the only one that's got a problem. You cannot prove anything. You cannot do anything. Therefore, why do you keep begging me to talk to you? And here we go. Blowout model. Wham. Right? Come back around. Wham. Come back around. Wham. And it's like, I'll be damned. And he's going to... Now, I know how it works out. It's going to get so fast to the point where he doesn't actually... it'd be the finisher blowout model. Fuck you, you moron. You're a goddamn idiot. And then, that's it. I'm not going to talk to you no more. That's the Max Kaiser gold versus paper that I did over there. He said, fuck you, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. And I said, of course you're not going to. You never had a position to begin with. I knew how this was going to go. You're going to give up, and instead of saying, I retreat because I've been defeated and leave the field like a man would, what you do is you say, you're so fucking stupid, I'm not going to talk to you no more. I won. But you're the one that's leaving. Interesting. Oh, quite fascinating, isn't it? Now, remember, of course, they don't have any position whatsoever, right? We're not arguing over a real rock in your yard that you tripped over. We're not doing that. They're completely arguing over presumptions and fictions that are stacked so deep and so high, you can just forget about it. They've turned a molehill. Well, let's say that the actual real world is a molehill, and they've turned their fictions into fucking Mount Kilimanjaro, right? Yes. Okay. So it comes down to that point where it's pure mental masturbation, where it's not about facts or reality. It is simply about ego displacing all other things, and because they lack a personality, their own personality. And they instead institute the corporate models, the corporate game theory models that were given to them, which is run in a very limited circle. It's just a circle over and over and over, the racetrack. And of course, I've noticed that it's in general very strict racetracks, very strict. That there's not a lot of deviation from it, except when they do a blowout model. Some blow out right off the top. There is no argument because they want no argument, fictional argument or debate. They just do a blowout model. Boom! You know what I mean? Okay, now you know that and I know that. Now the others are doing just the simple, well, I've got to, in his case, this other dude's case, he's just extending. And I'm telling you, all you're doing is begging me so you may extend your cycle to try to have a position when you have no position. And the only way you can have a position is to attach to me and beg me to agree with you in some part. What the fuck kind of idiot would do that? And so you go, wait a minute, dude. Listen. You're not going nowhere. You're just going in fucking circles, and I'm sitting here telling you I'm watching you go in circles, and you're not getting anywhere. You're just bitching and moaning, whining and bitching, and please agree with me. Please talk to me. And it's like all you got to do is just walk the fuck away. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to say I won. You ain't got to say I lost. You just got to walk the fuck away. But you won't do that. No. So you see what kind of impact a shyster and a fucking 2-bit carny barking piece of shit like Stephen Moly-Hucks has on people. That's literally what he's doing, kids. If you're not at all aware, what do you think he's doing? I highly doubt the sumbitch is smart enough to realize what the fuck he's doing. But that's the way of the shyster. They're not as smart as they love to think they are. Anyway, the point is he's hung up in the models in his own head, and he's going to continue the cycle. And I'm going to stop it here, and then I'm going to come back and see how far he keeps going. Because he keeps commenting in order. He's doing the model now where if I comment more, it means I win. that's what the fuck? It's the Outlast model. It's the Survivor game theory model. I'll just outlast you by it. I'm just going to keep fucking talking. I'm just going to keep fucking talking. And eventually you'll give up. That's his game theory now. He has nothing, so his game theory right now is just keep talking. Keep talking, blowout model. Keep talking, blowout model. So, anyway, I'll get back to you. Slight update. I noticed that in 2 reply comments just a second ago, he's attempting emotional caltropping. Because once I pointed out that all he's doing is a blowout model, he got angry, right? And so he started to emotional caltrop in order to draw an anger response or any type of emotional response. Okay, because you've got to remember, he's pissed off, he has no position, and with no position, what he's going to do is emotional caltrop or voter trap. Okay? All right. And voter trap, you generally can't get that with a non-intellectual, especially if you destroy their fictional position. They must attach to you to have a position. They're using you to make their position real. All right? That's where you do the Stonewall model. All right? You did what you were supposed to do. I disproved this. And they're going to come back with, you must, you will, you must, you will. Okay. If that doesn't work, they do the blowout models, and then they do the emotional caltropping. Anything that will draw an emotional response from you in order for them to do the handholds, right? It's like this. This kid had so many handles sticking out of him, it was really easy to start a game cycle with him. However, I told you, if you play from a position of nullity, you do not have handles sticking out. And therefore, when you have no handles they cannot grab a hold of, they go, well, not schizophrenic, but they definitely get into an emotional state that's just unreal. Just unreal. And I've noticed the shysters are smart enough to, at least just barely smart enough to realize when I attempt to game, and therefore they refuse to even speak to me, which is actually an excellent defense. Okay? But then again, you have to remember what they're doing. They're running a Ponzi and a pyramid scam of their own. So when you begin to pull the belief away from them, the faith away from them by destroying all of their fictional positions in the crowd that watches them, they have to do something eventually. And I've noticed that one way to fix that is for them to band up with each other. And in doing so, they combine the kook crowds, which actually isn't to their benefit. I'm not going to explain that one because they fuck themselves more often than not. Anyway, I'll have another update here in a little bit. All right, one fast update on one of the models. They'll run within one of their offers, right? One of their after a certain point, after the fast point where you've destroyed any fictional position, so all they're doing is treading water looking for one. All right, it leaves them in a position. It leaves them in the position to have to do what I call delayed gaming cycles. In short, they really, really want to make an offer to you, even though you've stonewalled, right? Bap. You've stonewalled, they got nothing, they know it, and they can't attach to you. So what that leaves is a delayed gaming offer, where they'll literally wait. I've had them actually wait 3 days, 4 days, a week, 2 weeks, a month. That's right, on my cry for help on his Ron Paul video. I've had them delay as long as a month, if not more, in order to think that you won't respond. Okay, so that's one way they'll attempt to claim, quote, victory, unquote, is to do a delayed gaming reboot or offer. I win because I said so. And unfortunately, their replies on the delayed gaming are as weak as their original arguments. And in short, it's just fiction. It's just them claiming, I'm here, therefore I must have won. Anyway, so don't forget that when you do a gaming cycle, when you're done with it, right, and the other opponent just said, fuck this, I don't got nothing, and I never did, and I can't get anything more. Therefore, there's nothing here. Fuck you. I quit. Right? You're a bastard. You're a son of a bitch. When they walk away, it leaves a gap. So don't forget to keep up with your gaming cycles. Okay? So that you can go back and look at them when they pop in and they say something else. In this case, this individual over on Moly-Hucks' video, the deal with it is this old boy likes to wait an entire day. I'm sure there's an excuse, whatever. It's irrelevant why he waits so long. The point is he waits so long in order to come back and to hit you when he doesn't think you will come back. Remember that. All right, a really quick update. It's fascinating. This son of a bitch is stuck in the rut so deep. He literally recycles his own cycle. Every comment now. That's how fast it's accelerated. That's how fictional his position is. Now, I know what comes later. You're supposed to think about, well, what will he do if faced with these choices? What will Captain Slappy say? Okay, according to what models he generally uses, what will the other guy say? Well, if he's accelerating his model, what does that mean? Etc. Okay? But let me read you the comment. This is what he says. Now, this is with me telling him what he's going to do to attempt to attach. So basically, all you do is claim victory, which it's really easy. He couldn't make a tree, and he said, and he gave up and said, I can't make a tree. So yes, obviously, without once making a point. Now we're not interested in the real world. We're going to call it without making a point. The real world's irrelevant. Making a point is relevant. Oh, okay, like we're arguing or something. Okay, you like to make false claims about what I did, e.g., that I multiplied my offers to you. That's not a false claim whatsoever. He insists on continually begging me to argue with him over a fictional position of his, not mine. Ha. Okay, now he's pissed off about it. He's taking anything. See, he's trying to work off of the verbal, in any return verbally, okay, in order to keep himself going. Now, obviously, look at what he's doing. He's whining and attempting attachment. Each one of those, right? He's attempting attachment. Now, here it comes. I didn't make any offers to you. Well, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing anyway, but he's offering every time he speaks. You and I know that. And he's multiplying the offers in each comment. Only someone of very low maturity would think that using advanced terms would make you seem convincing in the absence of an argument. Okay, now, what he's doing is called the ape. Okay? He knows he doesn't have a position and he never had one. I'm not going to rehash that. What I'm going to say is, look at what he's doing. I stepped up the game and said, the game's over, man. You never had anything, and you're going to continue to do these cycles over and over because you do not have anything. Now, I know this, you know this, and everybody watching knows this. What are you going to do? And he made the choice out of all other options to say, I'm just going to keep doing the same fucking thing over and over. I'm going to beg you, I'm going to plead, I'm going to cuss you, and I'm going to keep attempting to attach to you. So instead of doing a blowout model on this one, what he's doing is the emotional caltrop. I would estimate your mental age at 8. Now look, he's not making me a fucking tree. And he fucked himself up on that because he said I can't make a tree, but all that does is prove me right. What a fucking anyway, he's a momo. But the point is, he's multiplying the offers in every single comment. And I'll tell you which one. Okay, I'll tell you one that I said. I said, nice. This is my last one. Nice. You followed your own choice set cycle to a T. Whine, attempt attachment. As you have no position, you must beg me to argue and or debate where there is none, since you have no position in order to create your position. And you skipped the blowout, but instead replaced it with the caltrop, emotional caltrop. A very basic one at that, which never worked before, yet again you insist on using it. As far as kooks go, you were worth a game and effort. You really do have a one-track mind. But anyway, the point is, his desperation means he's got to accelerate. And he, according to this one here, he should accelerate into an actual blowout model where he's foaming at the fucking mouth. So, I'm waiting on this one. I know this is a long video. I didn't mean it to be, but it should be interesting. And I'll tell you what video it's on. It's on Stephen Moly-Hucks' Voodoo Economics, which, coming from a kook, that's hilarious, right? Anyway, there you go. All right, as expected, he's started to trim his comments down because he realizes he can't form attachments. So now it's just bottom basement insulting, just bottom basement blowouts. And that's how quick it'll turn in one comment when they realize that they have no, when it's down to the wire and they don't got shit. And they're just attempting any type of attachment. They can't get it. So they have to go into, not all of them do it. Most of them do it, but not all of them do it. And in this case, the next model they bring in is the volume commenter. Volume commenting, the talk much model, which is if they think they can win by continued speaking. It's irrelevant what's in the message. It's all bullshit. insults, blowouts, emotional caltropping. It's irrelevant what's actually in there. The point is they stick to their own script. And they have to come to the basic conclusion that they're not getting anywhere. Okay? All right. So, that being said, with no position and nothing left, volume commenting becomes a tool unless you stop it. Okay? And one way of stopping the volume commenter is to tell them they are volume commenting and they are desperate. You're desperate to keep this going, so you're just going to keep speaking. And you're going to claim that is a win because you continue to speak. Even though you say nothing. And you do nothing, obviously. And so that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to get them to go ahead and just get into their end gambit. Now, the end gambit will be the statement, I know everything, you don't know shit. That's all it is. You did not agree with me, therefore you lose. And you're going, but all you did was spew fiction. Huh. That's right. But you have to get them to the end gambit, otherwise they'll stick in the rut and they'll keep going in circles. Now, the reason I drew out the Stephen Moly-Hucks kook one, the kook game cycle, is on purpose so y'all could see every bit of the draw out and watch what he did over and over and over and over. Like I told him, it's like watching you is exactly the same as taking a dog and putting it in a round room and telling it to shit in the corner. No matter how many times you try, you're going to try again. And it's just irrelevant. You know, it doesn't matter what reality is. You're going to keep doing it over and over. And I'm going to tell you you're going to keep doing it. And I'm going to tell you over and over you're going to keep doing it, and these are the models that you're going to use. And you do it every fucking time. And it's like, damn, man, what are you not catching here that you're doing, son? The same fucking thing over and over, and you're still not getting it. Anyway, the point was, remember that that's one of the models that they'll use, is volume commenting. Okay, not just time delay, but volume commenting. If I just keep talking, he'll go away, and if he goes away, I won. And you're like, what the fuck? More when I get it. Well, it looks like the basics are done on that kook on Stephen Moly-Hucks' channel. It looks like that game cycle's run its course. He may have picked the silent version, which is just stop and walk away. Right. Not the volume commenting or the last word model, because that's generally what they do when they don't have anything at all, which you already know. I've repeated myself too much during this really long son of a bitch, but you get the point. Okay? So, anything else he says after this, you know it's a slow drain because there's no attachment. So, he's got to run out. There's nothing there, so it's inevitable that with nothing there and no ability to form an attachment, which is why you have to be careful, stonewalling or making sure that you have your game cycle finished before they ever get a chance to start theirs. Okay? Or attempt to reboot, worm turn, and start voter trapping. Because after a certain point, that's all they can do. You know, that's all they have. So, anyway, there you go. That is it. I don't know if it'll do you any good. It wasn't that. It was just, some things are fascinating. And it shows you the models that people run in their heads every day. Old, young, it doesn't fucking matter. It's always the same. Part of it's a natural thing. I do know that. That's the natural thing. And part of it is a given man-made model. Okay? So, sorry kids, you can't always blame the Federal Reserve, the fucking Black Pope, or the Freemasons for shit. Sometimes it's just a natural dumbassery. Alright? Or, in this case, just not wanting to know anything about anything. What we're going to do is just regurgitate what somebody else says. Which is the dangers of people like Stephen Moly-Hucks and the others, Adam Kokesh and all the others. That's the danger of them, that they literally don't do anything but talk propaganda. So it's really easy, like it's watching a pedophile go to work on the minds of children, no matter their age. You understand? That's what they are. That's the shyster's game. It's the huckster, the 2-bit carny barker. Anyway, so there you have it. Take it easy.